Hi Zoe, hi YouTube friends. Right, I've come on with the long-awaited journal update for my Texas trip. Sorry, it's been so long. I have been waiting on my husband or my son to do me a montage of my video because there got a lot of video footage from Texas, and I've been waiting for them to piece that together, and they've just been busy, and so that hasn't got sorted yet. Also been waiting on to develop some photos, so get photos sorted for things, and you know what it's like. So yes, I thought I might do like the journal and my scrapbook all together. This is actually a picture from my scrapbook because I wanted you to come in with a few images from my trip, but we will be focusing on my journal. I can let you know, tell you what I got up to, and then when I finish my scrapbook, because obviously that's an ongoing thing. Oh my goodness, they take forever, scrapbooks. I bought so much fodder back from America, and then obviously I had loads of photos, like 500, which I had to narrow down because that's not all going to fit in one scrapbook. And then I had to sort them out into like each day, the photographs on the fodder. That took a day. Anyway, I was going to ramble coincide this with that, but that is not finished, so you can't see that at the moment. So when that's finished, I'll come back with it. So moving on to the journal. Okay, right, as you may or may not know, I have gone over into a happy planner instead of my scrapbook style journaling. I'm loving the happy planner layout. It's brilliant, and it's not too much for me to fill out each day, which is fantastic, because sometimes I felt just overwhelmed, and I do it sort of like I can do this every day because all I've got to do is fill out that bit. So yeah, it works really well. Okay, so stop rambling, get on with it. So Monday the 18th of March this was. I cleaned the house. Yeah, it's because I was leaving the men for, nearly 3 weeks. Thought I better leave them clean. So clean the house, caught up in my, whenever I put a HHH, it's my Heidi Happy Hybrid, which is this, because it's a planner and a journal. Rechecked, sorry, froggy throat. Great start. Checked and rechecked my luggage. You know how that goes. When you pack it, you've got to make sure things are still in there that you know that you put in there. Watched Rain, and I was really enjoying Rain on Netflix, about Mary Queen of Scots. Sort of like meets Vampire Diaries, bit teenagery, but yeah, it was pretty good. And downloaded the rest for the aeroplane journey. Did all the last minute holiday prep, like charge cameras, charge Kindle, that sort of thing. Printed my tickets. I chatted to Zoe to make sure she was going to pick me up from the airport. Turn up. Zoe, I know you're watching this because you love a bit of my videos, but you're going to know all this. You were there most of the time. Chatted to Rachel, which is my bestie, just to, make sure she was all right and I was all right and everything. Tesco shopping come so that I could feed the boys while I was away. And then we just had southern fried chicken and mac and cheese for dinner and watched a bit of TV with my family. Then the start of it all, 19th. I can see, got a little aeroplane picture there. Jared and I got up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Ugh. I kissed Loki and the dog goodbye, and we drove to the airport, which was Heathrow. I checked in, and security all went well. When I was checking in, I borrowed a suitcase from my friend Carly, and it's one of those lightweight ones, and it had a few little, like, not tears, but like little sort of like scratches on it, and I was a little bit worried about it, so I masking taped it up a bit. When I was heaving onto the sort of like the weighing bit, I didn't notice, but some of the masking tape had come off of it and attached itself to my legs, and I didn't notice. I'd walked around most of the airport for like probably an hour before I noticed that there was a big bit of masking tape up my leg. Oh well, these things happen, don't they? These things happen to me, yes. I did the scary train. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Heathrow. This is Terminal 5. There is a scary train. I have issues with trains anyway, because when I was young, they made us watch this video about kids jumping onto the top of trains and falling off and getting electrocuted or burning all their skin off. And it's stuck with me. Now I'm 40 years old, so it's stuck with me a long time. Yeah, so they have like a little monorail, I don't think that's the right word, underground trainy thing that goes really fast so that you can get to your gate. And you can walk if you've got time. There's a walking bit, but the train is obviously like takes 4 minutes, so save you panicking about being places on time. Did the scary train. Oh, doing that by myself with the whole anxiety of going away and, and obviously first time seeing Zoe ever, because obviously we've only talked through like Facebook chat and send happy mail, and I've known them for years obviously, but you still get worried about these things, going to a foreign country, leaving my family behind, that sort of thing, getting on the scary train. But I did the scary train, and then I texted my friend when I got to the other side, I've done the scary train. Anyway, don't know if any of you have issues like that with things. So on the plane, it was alright. I watched The House with All the Clocks in the Walls and Crazy Rich Asians. And I watched some of A Star is Born, but I got bored with that one, so I didn't bother watching the rest of that one. So yeah, just killed the time on the plane, watching movies and eating. When I arrived at Austin Airport, Zoe was waiting for me. Yay! Fear over, with a big welcome sign that she'd made. First of all, I had to go through all the security though. There's just too much security. And when the security man asked what I was doing there, and I said I was visiting my friend in Austin. How do you know your friend in Austin? Well, we met on Facebook. I did think he thought that I was going to be murdered. He just looked at me like, okay. Anyway, so yeah, big poster. Then Kenan, which is Zoe's husband, drove us to Five Guys because it was like getting on late there. It was like dinner time. Well, dinner time, their time. It was like stupid o'clock in the morning for me, but dinner time. So we had burger and I had cream soda, and they give us an enormous amount of fries, which we ended up taking back with us because there was just too many fries to finish. At Zoe's house, my room was lovely. She'd done like a big welcome banner sign on it and done all the pillows posh on the bed, and she'd on the bookcase in the room there was tons and tons of presents for me, and she just made me so welcome, and I just felt like family straight away. It was amazing. Thanks, Zoe. So had a shower, got a cup of tea because I am English, and we watched Oak Island and a bit of YouTube videos. And then on Wednesday the 20th, I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning and rested to about 4 a.m. And then I unpacked my bags and sort of like, made it all my own, the room, basically. So yeah, unpacked the bags, hung up my clothes, that sort of thing. About 6 a.m, Zoe was up, so I went and got another cup of tea, and we had a long chat at her breakfast bar island type thing. We just had a wonderful chat. It was great. At 9:30 I showered and we went and got my first Starbucks coffee of the holiday. Woohoo! And then we went to, I didn't put in there, but we did go to this little Texas gift shop, and I picked up some postcards for one for Mum and Dad and one for Loki and Jared. And then we went to H-E-B, which seriously is my favourite supermarket in the whole wide world. For anybody in England, H-E-B is only in Texas. They don't have it in the rest of America. And they are enormous, absolutely enormous. We spent 3.5 hours in there, just walking up and down aisles and filling up a trolley. As there will be photos to all of this and fodder and stuff, as I said, in my scrapbook, but I need to finish that first of all. So you'll have a treat later on, and I just want to check with Zoe she's all right that I show you all like the pictures. Because you can't always look your best in every picture, can you? So I'll check for that, but that should be fine. I'll give you something else to look at a later date. Anyway, bought a load of junk food for the boys. I think I spent about $36, which is not a huge amount. Got tons, loads of Oreos. Pretty much picked up loads of different flavours, Oreos and all sorts of snacks, and got some honey buns, and yeah. When we got back, Zoe made me a breakfast burrito for lunch using some of the fries that we got from Five Guys, and then I took a little nap. Well, we both did actually because we were a bit tired. In the evening, Kenan cooked a steak, asparagus, yellow zucchini, courgette and mushrooms, and some more of the leftover fries. He cooked that on the barbecue, not the fries obviously. And we had that for dinner, and we watched a bit of YouTube. Oh, go sneeze, sorry. Sorry about that. It is hay fever season. And we watched the Scooby Natural, which was on my little bucket list to do, was watch Scooby Natural, which is Supernatural Scooby-Doo version, for anybody who doesn't know, with Zoe. Then with the Happy Planner, you get like these extra pages that you can like slot in. So I put like a vacation one, but as you can see, I need photos. I'm waiting for Jared to get new ink for the printer so I can print this off. This is another reason, hence this video has taken so long. I wanted to get things sorted, and now it's just like June, practically. So I thought, oh, let's just get on with it. Otherwise, I'll be going back to Texas before I've done this one. Anyway, so I've just filled out a little bit. It's like, it's got who, I put me and Zoe, destination, Texas and New Orleans, favourite adventure, road trip to New Orleans, highlights, Struck concert, and best memory, Blue Bunny, which we'll get on to. And then, yeah, I haven't filled out very much on this. So, back to the days. So, Thursday, the 21st of March, woke up at 5 a.m. Yeah, I wasn't getting used to the whole jet lag thing. So I wrote the postcards to Mum and Dad and Jared and Loki. Breakfast, I had one of my honey buns that I bought in the H-E-B. They're nice. If you don't know what they are, very much like a shape of a cinnamon bun, but honey instead of cinnamon. Zoe made us fruit smoothies for breakfast. We went to Tuesday morning. Oh my goodness. I love Tuesday morning. I love it so much. Wow. I did some big buying in Tuesday morning. They had my, like, actually what I mean, like these 365 crate, like Happy Planner sticker books. Oh, I love Happy Planner sticker books. Oh, they're so expensive here. Well, basically you can't really get them here unless you order them from America or from Craftella, which is in Spain. So you pay about $5 for postage, which is not as bad as doing the postage from America. You might get the odd sort of American craft one at Hobbycraft, but they're hard to get for. But as you can see, like the price, $5.99, and some of them were like $4.99. Well, they're like $20 to buy out there, and then here well, by the time you paid postage and everything, you're probably looking at 30 quid. So, well, maybe not as much as that, but they're dear. So, wow, they had tons. I bought tons. Come out with a massive stock of them. Then we went to Michael's, got a few more because they had like some offers on. Love Michael's, obviously a bit dearer in Michael's. We, as said, yeah, bought lots of stickers. Oh, and I bought Project Life in Tuesday morning as well. They had like the big sets of the Project Life cards. Now, I don't obviously do Project Life, but who doesn't love Project Life cards? I mean, pretty patterns on card. Any paper lover would love that. Yeah, got a big box of the travel ones. I think it was only like $6. So good. Then we went and had some lunch at Zoe's. She did a beef stir fry for us from sort of like the leftover like steak and stuff from the barbecue. Very economic, no waste in that house, brilliant. And then we had nap time. Then we needed nap time because then we went to Austin Rodeo. Woo! Cowboys, baby. We had a look around the fair and I had some, we shared some lemonade and some cheesy fries. And we also, I think we got a big thing of kettle corn, yes, because I needed to try kettle corn because I'd never had that. And we sat and listened to some music while we ate our kettle corn. Then we went and watched the rodeo, which was so good. I love the rodeo. I love bucking horses. Yes, bucking. I didn't say anything else. They're so cool. They're so good. I love it. With cowboys flying all over the place. That was so good. And then after the rodeo, the Struts concert was on. Now, the Struts are from England, but they're not very well known in England. Basically, I've asked all my friends now, and nobody's heard of them. They come from Stratford-upon-Avon. But they seem to be doing better in America, because they were like, I listened to a few of their songs, because I knew I was going to their concert, and they played the Victoria's Secret thing, you know, the catwalk thingy. They were like playing on that, so I think they're more American based. But they were wonderful, and there's 2 songs in there that Zoe and I really, really love, and Kenan downloaded them for us, and they are the anthem of our holiday. We love them. After, I tried deep fried Oreos. Oh, yumness. They are so yumness. Then woke up at 8 a.m. Yep, that was a bit more better time on the 22nd. That was Friday. We went to Monument Cafe for breakfast. I had biscuits and gravy for the first time and a cinnamon roll. I didn't manage to eat the cinnamon roll at that point because the biscuits and gravy completely filled me up. So I took the cinnamon roll to go. At Zoe's, we played the best game ever, sharing Project Life cards. So we got out my big pack of Project Life cards, and I shared them with Zoe, and we just sort of picked the ones we wanted, and it sounds really dull, but it's quite fun for us. We were like sharing. Then we had a nap. Then for lunch we just had cheese on toast. They call it something else in America. Can't think off the top of my head what it's called, but we call it cheese on toast. Then we did a bit more shopping. We went to Target, where I bought some more junk food, Dollar Tree, and Natural Groceries, where we got, I can't remember what we got at Natural Groceries, just a few shopping bits, I think it was. And then we had, pizza party. So we had cauliflower base pizza which I can't get in England. I've looked for it, I can't find it, with a Caesar salad. And this was like one of my favourite nights. Now, I've done some amazing things on this holiday, but one of my favourite nights is just having this lovely cauliflower based pizza with Zoe and Kenan, and we watched Bumblebee, the movie, and it was just a really nice relaxed evening. And we'd bought at the Monument Cafe some chocolate walnut cream pie, and we had that for our pudding. Then on Saturday the 23rd, woke up at 4 a.m, back to the dodgy times. I watched 2 of my Rain episodes and had a honey bun and a cup of tea. Later, when Zoe was up, I had my cinnamon roll as well, and I tried a bit of her banana pancakes because she was doing a healthy banana pancakes. Then we went to Sprouts, and I bought Jared's taffy because Jared loves taffy, and we bought some trail mix made up fantastic at Sprouts for the trail mix, just like all the nuts and raisins and chocolate coated cherries and stuff, and you could just make a wonderful trail mix, and that was for our road trip coming up. On the way back we passed the Round Rock, because Zoe lives in Round Rock, and it's just a round rock. That's what it's famous for, Round Rock in the water. Wow. We saw turkey vultures, and I've never seen a turkey vulture before, eating a dead skunk, which was lovely. Then for lunch, we just had some sandwiches and crisps, and we watched Drag Queen's Drag Race, and that's about RuPaul type then. So yeah, that was all right. Little nap time, and I just put good food, good company. We went and had Mexican, so my first Mexican out there, and I had a chimichanga and beans and rice, which was really, really tasty. Oh my goodness, it was enormous. So it was like a blooming pillow, and I didn't finish it all, but it's fine because like in America you can have a doggy bag, and so we brought the rest back so that Kenan could have it for his lunch the next day. And then we watched, then when I went to bed, Zoe had some computer time and I had some Supernatural time, because I found out when I got there, I've got Netflix on my Kindle, but when you get there you can have American Netflix. Very exciting. And they had Supernatural, can't remember what season, but the season I needed to watch, so I was downloading them onto my Kindle so that I could watch them. So I watched the Supernatural, then went to sleep. Now, we know my camera likes to cut off at 30 minutes. We're at 23. So if I do cut off, there will be a part 2. So I carry on. So on Sunday the 24th, or I'll get Jared to splice it together. Anyway, woke up at 4 a.m, packed my bags ready for our road trip to New Orleans. Woo! Watched the rain and chatted to Jared on like WhatsApp, and then we went off on a road trip. Oh, Zoe, so funny. There's this road, and it is weird. In Austin, they've definitely done something weird with the roads. There's this road that you have to go over. It's like over a bridge, but you have to cross the other traffic, and it doesn't seem like you should be. I mean, it's all the wrong way for me anyway. I'm on the wrong side of the road because obviously we drive on the opposite side of the road, but it looks like you shouldn't be going that way, and it terrifies Zoe to drive on that bit, and also she just screams as she goes across it, which scared me to death. I thought we could die. Great start to the trip. So first day we drove to Lafayette. We took the scenic route through Sam Houston's National Forest. Took us about 6 hours to get to Lafayette, and we stopped at quite a few gas stops for wheeze and buying snacks. And I discovered Nutter Butters. I love myself a Nutter Butter. Zoe and I made this epic game, Roadkill Bucket List, which sounds really horrible, I know, but when you're going through the sort of like national park thing, I'm afraid there is a lot of roadkill, and exotic roadkill to me. I mean, there's no skunks in England, so first of all, skunks and like possums was like a bit exotic. Then it took a weird twist when I saw an enormous dead pig at the side of the road. That never happens in England. Never, big dead pig. But it's a hog, and apparently they're very vicious. God knows what took it out. I mean, it was massive. So that was a shock. But then the funniest one of all is we were passing someone's house, and someone's giant blue inflatable bunny, because it was like near Easter, had fallen over, and we just shouted, "Dead bunny!" Dead blue bunny. Oh, that had us laughing for about another 10 miles. Oh, best times. And that night we stayed at the Holiday Inn in Lafayette, and we had catfish for dinner. Well, we shared catfish because American portions are enormous. So most of the time when Zoe and I were out, we just order one with 2 plates and we'd share. And also it stopped my waistline getting so massive. And I watched a little Supernatural before I went to sleep. Right, Monday the 25th. Okay, so breakfast at the hotel. Oh, it was funny. Lovely breakfast there. Got everything you could want. Got some fruit, got some muffins, got some hot breakfast, everything. I asked the waiter, could he bring me, well, I asked if he had decaf tea first of all, because I can't have the caffeine, as you know, I go mental. So I brought my own decaf tea bags with me, but I always ask just in case. And so he said no, so I was like, could I just have some hot water and some milk, please? And so he went off and bought me a massive glass of milk, like a pint glass of milk, and a little sort of takeaway cup of hot water. I was like, this is not going to work too well. Luckily the second cup of tea I asked for, I didn't need any milk, obviously I still had the pint glass, was a lady waiter, and she was a waitress even, and she was a little bit more on the ball because she bought me like a proper size cup of hot milk, hot water. Oh dear. So for breakfast I had eggs and bacon. I tried grits. Yeah, not a fan. Maybe just like not those grits, because they were white grits, and when I see diners, dives and drive-thrus, that's not the right way round, I know. They have yellow grits. Maybe they're nicer, like corn grits, but maybe not. And a Danish. Then we hit the road, Jack. Had a Starbucks and stopped at Barnes & Noble, so we could have a little mooch around Barnes & Noble, and there was a Tuesday morning, because I love a Tuesday morning. Nice in Barnes & Noble. I didn't buy anything, but it was nice to have a look round, because now I know what Dee Dee's on about when she goes on about Barnes & Noble. We bought more Project Life cards in Tuesday morning, and then we drove to the Oak Alley Plantation. It was a really hot day that day. So sunny. Oh, it's gorgeous. I loved it. I think Zoe was suffering a little bit because it was a bit hot, but perfect for me because I like the heat. For lunch we shared alligator like bites with some spicy mayo and a cornbread muffin each, and that was yummy. I really enjoyed that. Then we looked all over the Oak Alley Plantation. We did the tour and everything, but I'll show you pictures, obviously, when I can do the scrapbook. So then we drove to New Orleans. Took us about an hour. We stayed at the Chimes Bed and Breakfast, and that night we just got a takeout because we were too tired to go find something. So, just had our takeout. I think it was like I got like a big sandwich and some crisps or something, I don't know. Tuesday, right, I think it may cut off. So, yeah, it's going to. I'll stop and come back. See you in a bit. So, Tuesday the 26th of March, woke up at 6 a.m. to a mockingbird making a car alarm sound and also like a space gun sound, like a pew pew. Tried to quickly get my camera and go outside and find it. Saw it, but it flew away. So, haven't got any footage of that, I'm afraid. We then went to breakfast, and it was like a communal breakfast on like a big table, and then all the other guests were there. That's sort of how they do it there. I think more in England you have like little separate tables, but it was nice, and you got to talk to the other guests. I think they were probably a little bit more intellectual than I was, because they were talking politics and things about America that I couldn't really jump in at. But there was a nice couple opposite, and the lady, they had 2 children, so I could jump in with the children train there. So I talked to her. Breakfast was like fruit, ham, bread, Danish eggs and cheese. I would say, because the Chimes was very, very expensive, and I haven't done my TripAdvisor review yet, but for the price we paid for it, I mean, the room was absolutely wonderful. It's like a carriage house, so it had like this little upstairs balcony bit where you had a double bed at the top, and I slept in that one, and then there was a double bed at the bottom, and which Zoe slept in, and it was really beautiful. But for the amount we paid for it, because it was quite pricey, the breakfast was good quality, but not really hot enough for like how many people were sat round the table. I mean, there was like a little bowl of fruit and then a little plate of ham. I mean, like a saucer of ham, bread. And yeah, we did have a little qualm with that with Zoe, because she had phoned them and emailed them and sent messages saying that she had to have gluten-free bread. And when we said to the host, oh yeah, remember, she's gluten-free, because there was just like normal French stick on the table, and she went, I have to get that out the freezer. Now, she knew we were coming, so, you know, she could have had the bread out ready for Zoe. So her only option there was to have toast, because obviously it was frozen. So it wasn't great, I'd say. But we met the hosts, Jill and Charles, and they were lovely. And then afterwards we bought tram tickets off of them, because you could buy them there, which was very handy. And we went and caught the tram to the French Court. And then when we got there, our first stop was to Cafe Beignet. Just going to shut the door, because the dog has just opened the door. Bear with me. Okay, so Cafe Beignet, obviously New Orleans, famous for its beignets. Lots of people go to a different one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. The really famous is like something else, Cafe du something or other. Anyway, Cafe Beignet is just sort of like round the corner from there, and is a lot less touristy than the one that all the tourists go to. I really can't remember what it's called. No, gone from my head. Yeah, anyway, well, I recommend to go to this one instead, because it's bigger, cleaner, less touristy, and the beignets apparently are better. So we went there and we tried them for the first time. Then we went to the French market. Zoe bought a leather bag in there, and then we went and explored like the voodoo shops, and they were okay. They were very, very touristy though. I was hoping for more authentic, and they wasn't. They were just very touristy. Went down Bourbon Street, and we had lunch at Pat O'Brien's, which is apparently quite famous for like its hurricane or grenade I think there's hurricane cocktail and grenade cocktail, something like that. We wasn't drinking, so we didn't partake in any of that, but yep, it's quite famous for that. We had lunch and we had honey Pekin shrimp and chips, which we shared. And then we went to the cathedral, and outside the cathedral we got our cards read. I've never had a tarot card reading before, so that was quite interesting. It was all good news, family, money, and good luck and stuff like that. She said that I'd always have money, not like I'd be rich or anything like that, but I'll always be lucky with money. And I thought that was kind of nice. Nice to be lucky with money. We got the tram back to the Garden District, because that's where we were staying, and we found like a nice little restaurant called The Standard, and we had gumbo. And then we went back to the apartment and we just chatted and ate trail mix and sorted out our new cards that Zoe had bought up Tuesday morning. So played a bit more of our card game. Woke up at 6 a.m. on the 27th, Wednesday. Breakfast was fruit again. Had mushroom omelette, banana bread and Danish, which was alright. At 9 a.m. Zoe and I walked down Magazine Street all the way to Washington Street. Took us about 20 minutes, I think, to meet the Garden District tour. We grabbed a Starbucks, as there was one on the corner, and we went into Lafayette Cemetery and did that tour first of all. We saw such things as like where they filmed Interview with a Vampire, that sort of thing, the tombs and stuff, and the tour was really interesting, and the lady was really funny, and like she made it really, really interesting, especially like with because they're all above ground, their graves, and you can get like a family plot and you get buried in there, and then if there's anybody else to go in there, they wait a year and 1 day, because you don't open it on the sort of like the day, well, a year to the day that they were buried. So you are open it the day after. Sorry, blah blah blah. Bit bumbly at the moment, aren't I? Then basically everything's sort of decomposed, so they get like a big stick and they shove all the bones to the back, which drop down a little chute, and then they put the next body in there. Lovely. And then we did like the Garden District tour and saw all the beautiful houses. So we saw Sandra Bullock's house and John Goodman's house, and where Nick Cage used to live. And then we had some lunch, and we just stopped at this cafe and we just had a wrap and some crisps, and we walked back to the Chimes and we had like a little nap. Then we got ready, all glammed up, because that night we were going on the steamboat dinner jazz cruise. We chatted on the steamboat about me coming back again in like 2 years' time, because we've had such a lovely time together. We watched the beautiful sunset, and we saw the lovely looking all over New Orleans, all like the scenery was lovely. For dinner was there was pork and beef, seafood pasta, garlic potatoes, cream spinach, green beans, bread, and pudding was flambé bananas. So it was sort of like buffet style, so we had a bit of that. And when I got back, I watched a little Supernatural and went to sleep. Jazz Cruise was nice, highly recommend that if you ever get to New Orleans. Then 28th, woke up at 7 a.m, packed our bags for the road trip to Lake Charles. I want to tell you something about this Chimes Hotel as well. We were sort of like having a little laugh about it, but when we went out, when we got back, we noticed that either the maid or somebody who had been in the room had literally touched every single item we had. Like, they'd shut our suitcases. Like, Zoe has a lot of tablets that she has to take, and they'd like touched, like moved all the tablets. I had my Kindle and my charger on the side, and they'd taken my charger and put it like in a vase, and they'd just sort of like gone in the suitcase. I mean, nothing was taken. It wasn't like that type of thing. It wasn't a security thing. It was just like everything had been looked at, which is like not good. Definitely not good. I asked Zoe if that was like a normal, like, American thing. I don't know, because that's not an English thing. And she said, no, that's not right either. But yeah, so, wasn't that impressed with that. Anyway, woke up, packed bags, road trip, Lake Charles. It took us about 4 hours. So breakfast, we had breakfast before we went. It was the same as the day before. Had some fruit, omelette, banana bread, that sort of stuff. We played a bit more of the roadkill hit list. I saw something big, saw a coyote. I mean, goodness. Oh, and there was turtles, but they were alive. They weren't dead, thankfully, but there was turtles sort of crossing. Chatted a lot as we got stuck in traffic. We stopped for gas, and I bought some more Nutter Butters. Treat yourself. At Lake Charles, we stayed at the, I can't say that, whatever, casino hotel. And I gambled for the first time ever in my life. I did a 1 arm bandit. I only put $1 in, and each play was 25 cents. And on my first play, I won $20. Zoe made me cash it out straight away. We explored the hotel, and then we had dinner. We had fried green tomatoes, because that was on my bucket list, because ever since watching Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, I thought, I want to try that. So we had a side order of fried green tomatoes, and just had a jacket potato with bacon and cheese. Couldn't get my Wi-Fi, but I did have a Supernatural downloaded, so I watched one of those. Fried green tomatoes were alright. Then Friday the 29th, I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and then at 7:30 a.m. Breakfast, I had pancakes at the casino hotel. And then we got on the road for 11 a.m. We wore, because when we went in to go for the steamboat cruise, we did pop into a little touristy shop, and we bought road trip tops, New Orleans road trip tops. So we wore our tops for our going home road trip. We stopped at Panera Bread for lunch, and I had an apple and blue cheese salad, crisps, and a cup of tea. I used their free Wi-Fi to let Jared know I was okay, because obviously there was couldn't get hold of the Wi-Fi in the casino hotel, so I didn't want him to worry. And then we drove along, and we saw a Buc-ee's. Oh, I love Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is really, really good. If you go to Texas, you have to go to a Buc-ee's. They're like a service station, but absolutely enormous. I mean, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, you need to head to a Buc-ee's. You could definitely survive out of that place, definitely. I bought some stickers and postcards, bought some beef jerky for Jared, and then we drove back. We arrived at Zoe's house at about 5 p.m, and Kenan had made us some tamales and salad for dinner, which was really good that we didn't have to try and source some food. I met the neighbours, because they were playing a game of, don't know what it's called, but you like throw a beanbag at, and then you've got to try and get it down the hole. But they were all outside playing that, so I met the neighbours. Then I had a shower and watched a bit of Supernatural. I know it sounds like I'm watching Supernatural all the time, but I'm trying to get through the whole series before I have to go back to England. So every night I was watching a Supernatural. And then went to bed. So Saturday the 30th, I woke up at 7 a.m. Breakfast, just toast with pecan peach jam, which Zoe had bought at Buc-ee's. And then Zoe took me to the outlet mall. We had a Starbucks. I bought Jared a Garbage Pail Kids t-shirt. I mean, how cool is that? Garbage Pail Kids. Do you remember those? Zoe bought me a Stitch voodoo doll mug because I couldn't find my voodoo doll that I wanted to buy in, well, there was voodoo dolls in New Orleans, but they were like what you'd make at kindergarten. They wasn't like authentic. I mean, I didn't want one to go stab and hurt somebody. That wasn't the idea of it. I was thinking more along the lines of like, say it had like, because you get voodoo dolls for different things. Although the original thing, I'll tell you in a minute, but you could get ones for like love or peace or blah blah blah. And I was thinking they would have some sort of like herb in it, or like a little spell or something like that. Something a bit more, even though it, you know, is probably a load of rubbish. Even though that I wanted something more like that, but it was something like you could make yourself of, like, if you just had a bit of felt and, you know, a needle and thread. They were just rubbishy. So anyway, yeah, voodoo dolls, when I was originate, is actually, there's nothing sinister about them. It's just in the olden days, if you go to a doctor and how they'd keep a log of what was wrong with you is they keep a little doll, and like say you'd broke your arm one year, they put like a little pin in the arm to show that, oh, like when you went back in another year's time and you'd broken your foot or something, they go, oh, I could see last year you broke your arm and we put a pin in the foot now because you broke your foot. You're obviously very accident prone. So yeah, it was more for that sort of thing. So not in a sinister way. Anyway, my little Stitch cup had like, if you watch Lilo and Stitch, she's got that little rag doll thing, and it's like a little voodoo doll, and it was like on the cup it spins round. So Zoe bought me one of those because I didn't get me doll, and that was at Spencer's. Zoe, yeah, New Orleans for friends, and then we went to Goodwill and had a little look around there. We didn't find anything to buy though, and then we went to Whataburger, which was really nice. Had to try a Whataburger, obviously. Zoe and Kenan had a nap, and I watched the last two Rains. Oh, sad, last two. Then we tried Salt Lick for dinner, Salt Lick barbecue that is, but it was really, really busy, so we ended up going to Longhorn Steakhouse, and I tried chicken fried steak and had okra and mash and sweet tea, and the chicken fried steak was a first for me, the okra was a first, and the sweet tea was a first for me, and I liked all of it. Really good. We also went to this sweet shop, like a traditional sweet shop in Round Rock, and I got Loki and Jared massive pick mixes, and also for Rachel and Morgan, and got lots of sweets in there. Then we went to Jared's because it was my friend Remaine's birthday just before I went, and I wanted to pick her up a Pandora bead, and we got the luck in Jared's. Jared's is a jewellery store, ironically the same name as my husband, so I was interested in going there. When we went there, even though it was meant to stay open till late, it looked like it was all locked up, but we eventually got someone's attention and they opened it and they said, oh yeah, they just shut it, like lock it up at late just for security reasons. Well, we went in and we were the only ones in there, and I found the Pandora bead I wanted, and I asked if they had like a Pandora box, and they said no, they only had a Jared box, but I wanted a Pandora one so that I could show that I bought a proper Pandora bead for my friend, not like a knockoff or anything. And he goes, oh, well, I know what I can do, and he got out this Pandora jewellery box and let me have the jewellery box for free with the bead in it. I was like, oh, so best gift for her. I did tell her I got it free though. I was going to go, oh, look how much money I spent on you. But I didn't, because I'm too truthful. I told her that I got it free. But she loved it anyway. She thought it was absolutely amazing when I got back, and she loved a bead. Okay, Sunday, woke up at 7 a.m. I looked at Zoe's wedding album, with her, and I showed her my Zoe book, because I've been keeping like this little book that everything she sends me and letters and things I put in like a little scrapbook type thing. I started unpacking my bags to go home. I actually ended up having to buy, well, Zoe lent me a second suitcase and I paid for a second suitcase with British Airways, because really I bought so many craft stuff and so much food, I needed a second suitcase. So I went to Starbucks, Target, Joann's and Five Below, and I got some more goodies. But I'm so grateful to Zoe for everything, because it's a fantastic trip. We had a light lunch. I just had a banana muffin and apple. Did some more packing. Then we went to a Salt Lick barbecue for early dinner, because we wanted to get in there, because obviously we tried before and it was too rushy, too full. So we had we shared like a brisket, pulled pork, sausage, coleslaw, potato salad and barbecue beans. Yum, loved all of it. And we had pecan pie for dessert, and it was amazing. I tried to make pecan pie here and I thought it was okay that it came out, but when I went there and tried real pecan pie, it was like, I have not made pecan pie. My pecan pie was rubbish. Then afterwards we went to Sprouts and picked up some food for our Thanksgiving dinner. Yep, that was on my bucket list, to have a Thanksgiving dinner. And I bought some chocolate cherries to take home with me. We watched Drag Queen's Drag Race, and then I had a cup of tea and went to bed. Okay, and that's just the back of, like, so at the end of March, and we'll obviously go over into April. There's just a picture of Zoe and I, and that was our first Starbucks together. And just put like some little notes in there, and I still got to fill some stuff out. This is where I got these tabs on here to just show that I need to do more on them. And then there's my overview, because this is obviously like the planner part that I use, you know, for that. There we go, and getting back on to right, so this is the 1st of April, and April Fool's Day. Woke up at 7:30 when I got some Starbucks. If you're wondering what I get at Starbucks, because you obviously know that I don't have the caffeine, I get a small single shot decaf coconut milk latte to go. And trying to remember that every time I get to the counter is great fun. But they're very, very tasty. Okay, then we went to Hobby Lobby on Tuesday morning and HEB, and I got the last bits that I wanted to get. We had some sushi for lunch, which we got at HEB, and the man made it there in front of us, the thing. I think I've got a little video of that actually, so that would probably be in the montage. So we saw how the sushi was made. And then we drove to Round Rock Donuts, which is one of the reasons Round Rock is famous. They do the biggest donuts, absolutely massive, like dinner plate size. I didn't get one of those because that would have just been ridiculous, because I've eaten too much stuff all over this holiday. So I just got like a normal donut, but the flavour is different. It's very tasty. At Zoe's, I packed all the goodies. Now I have a photo of all the food, which obviously will be in my scrapbook, and it is an enormous amount of food. You'll see why I needed a second suitcase. Yeah, showed I booked a second suitcase. And then Zoe made us Catalina salad for dinner, which is the Catalina dressing, which I did pick up 3 of those. Well, Zoe made me pick up 3. I was going to pick up 1 bottle of the Kraft Catalina dressing, but she's like, no, have 3. Can't come back and get it, so have 3. So I'm glad she made me get that. But what is, so you cook like your mince, and then cut up lettuce, and you have nachos, and you have lots of cheese, and you have guacamole, and the Catalina dressing, and you just bung it all together and eat it all up, and it's yummy. And Zoe made the cornbread for Tuesday, because Tuesday is when we're going to have our Thanksgiving meal. And we watched Pitbulls and Parolees and then went to bed. On Tuesday, woke up at 7:30. Breakfast was toast and pecan peach jam again. Went and got coffee. Yeah, I'm filling up on these Starbucks coffees because when I get back to England, no Starbucks coffee for me. Although, to be fair, when I got back to England, I was kind of glad to not have any more coffee because I think that probably helped with putting on weight. Went to Tuesday morning, and Michael's, just in case we'd missed anything. Oh dear. Then when we got back, we played in Zoe's art room for a while, and we played with her stickers, and she gave me some of her papers and some bits and bobs. For lunch we had some more Catalina salad because there was some left over. Zoe took me to the Blue Bonnets so that I could take a photo of me in my cowboy boots, which I'd brought with me, my pink cowboy boots and a dress, in the Blue Bonnets because that's their national flower. So got some lovely pictures. More packing. Watched some YouTube, and Zoe made the pumpkin pie. I cleaned up the house and like hoovered and swept and stuff while Zoe got the Thanksgiving dinner together because Kennan's parents were coming for our sort of fake Thanksgiving. I made roast potatoes. There was my English thing that I added to the Thanksgiving dinner, which went down well. Everybody liked me roast potatoes. And we had chicken. Oh, we did chicken because it wasn't worth doing a massive turkey for, there was only 1, 2, 5 of us, so you know, and she didn't want like loads of leftovers because I was obviously going home soon, so we just did a chicken because it was easy. And we did green bean casserole, canned yams, cornbread stuffing, my roast potatoes, and then there was a pickle plate, and then Zoe and I chatted. And then I watched Supernatural and went to bed. Then Wednesday, the 3rd of April, woke up at 7:40 a.m. and chatted to Zoe. We had a cry because it was my last day. And then my last Starbucks, and then to Target and Dollar Tree, picked up some more Oreos. I have an obsession with Oreos. Last bit of packing, weighed the cases, and they were right on, both of them on 23. I mean, God, if I sneezed, they would have gone over. Then lunch we had leftovers, so we made like chicken sandwiches, and I had my final grape soda. Zoe and I watched a bit of YouTube together, just like watched the crafty ones. Then Kenan and Zoe took me to the airport and we said our goodbyes. My hand luggage got pulled because, in America, even if you've got food in your hand luggage, they've got to look at it all. I didn't know that, otherwise I would have just put all the food in like the proper luggage, but no, they pulled my hand luggage and they had to look at all the food. I must have thought, blimey, how many Oreos does this woman need? But it was okay. My plane was delayed, but when I got on it, it was like quite empty, so I actually had all 4 seats. I had the whole row to myself. There was no one with me. Tip, I booked my seats and I booked aisle seat near the back of the plane because people don't like to sit near the back of the plane. And both ways, when I came, the seat next to, 2 seats next to me was empty, and when I came back, all the seats were empty. So it's good. And travel on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, they're quiet days. And then so I flew home, and that was that. So. And then it goes on to me at home and whatnot. And if if you'd like me to carry on with doing my how I used to do, just put a little comment below and we'll get on to that. But oh look, we're nearly at 30 minutes, so I'll wrap it up. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and everyone take care. Okay, bye then.